happy Thursday. I've been wanting to go live for a few days, but haven't really thought of a good topic to share with you. And so just been asking, the universe, like, what can I share and what can I talk about? And today, when I was heading to take my kids to school, I was like, oh my goodness, yes, this is what I could talk about. So, hey, how are you? So a little while ago, actually probably a couple years ago, I read this book about money and it had a lot of interesting perspectives on it. I'm trying to remember Money Isn't the Problem, You Are, is what the book was called. Money Isn't the Problem, You Are. And it had a lot of out of the box ways to look at money and your relationship with money and how we think about those things. And it wasn't just strictly here's step 1, 2, 3 for manifesting more money in your life. It was really truly about your relationship with the energy of money. So anyway, they had an interesting a section in this book that was about the idea that with your car, for example, but it's with any of the property you have. It could be a house, it could be your clothing, it could be whatever. Do you own that or does it own you? And they were arguing in the book that it owns you. The reason they're arguing in this book that your car would own you or your home would own you is because you're actually the servant to it. I mean, who's the one who's changing the oil? Who's the one that's washing it? Who's the one that's paying for it, right? It's being taken care of, right? And so that's the thing. That's why in the book it was talking about how you don't necessarily own these things that you think you own. At least energetically, you don't. They own you. And so when you can learn how to be in relationship with these things, you can better choose what to have in your life and what not to have in your life, right? Because there's a difference between having a car and letting it own you, right? And serving it by taking care of it and stuff. If it's a car that you love and if it's a car that you're receiving back from in ways that you enjoy, maybe it's a car that has leather seats that are super comfortable and you drive a lot. So that's a really great gift to have, is a car that gives you comfort. Maybe it's a car that's totally beautiful and you love it. Every time you look at it, you're just so proud and happy that it's yours. You're proud that when people see you out, this really represents who you are as a person, clean and sleek and beautiful, whatever, those sort of things. Versus having maybe an old beater car that every time you look at it, you're just so miserable that you have this in your life. And then that would be a bad exchange of energy there. Or, yeah, I'm trying not to say bad anymore. I'm trying to stay away from those judgment words, but when I come up with a better word, I'll switch that for you. So for me, after I shifted my perspective to looking at this as okay, I don't own my house owns me. I don't own my car owns me. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You don't have to be the owner in order for this to be a good relationship. But you can shift it to making sure that the things that are in your life that are owning you are ones that you want to be owning you, are ones that you have this good give and take with. So how that's shifted for me is now when I purchase things, I think about it, do I actually want to take care of this thing? Do I want to have an energetic relationship with this? So something maybe smaller and more simple would be your clothing, right? When you go to the store, you might see this beautiful sweater. The sweaters tend to do it for me because you can look at them on the rack and you're like, oh my God, this is so gorgeous. You put it on and all of a sudden it's 10 times itchier than anything you've ever felt in your life. And you're like, how can something so beautiful that looked so soft from the distance be this fucking itchy? And then you look at it and it needs to be dry cleaned only and blah, 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 and all this shit. It's well, okay, that's not a good energetic exchange for me, right? Because I don't want to take care of a sweater that requires that kind of care. So if I bring it home, it's not bringing the kind of energy into my life or my home that I want, right? It's going to be stuck on a shelf. And every time I look at it, I'm going to be irritated by it because I'm going to be I wanted to wear you. I think you're beautiful. I think I look beautiful when I wear it, but I hate wearing you. So start to think about that with the things in your life. Look around your life, especially the things that you interact with on a daily basis. How many of those things in your life are things that you share a beneficial energetic relationship? How many of those things are things that are gifting to you daily and you're grateful for it? And if you don't have that good balance, is there some way that you can shift it? Is there a way you can be grateful for what it's doing right now while releasing it and calling something else in? And this is a little bit further than I intended to go with this video, but it's popping into my head, so I'm going to share it anyway. When you get ready to sell something, because it is energy, especially larger things like a car or a home, you can ask it how much it wants to be sold for. You can ask it if it's ready for a new owner. Everything is energy, and when you really grasp that everything is energy and you learn how to tune into energy, you can have a conversation with anything. I mean, like, it's wild, it's crazy. Like, it's the thing that growing up, our parents probably would have told us was for crazy people, but it's the truth, because you can, since it is energy, you can talk to anything. So just keep that in mind, that when you're ready to, say, sell your car, you can ask your car, are you ready for a new owner? How much would you like to be sold for? And if you can really tune into that and figure it out, you can make a sale a lot quicker. So just one more time for anybody who joined later in this live. At the beginning, I said that this whole concept of do you own it or do they own you, that whole concept that I just talked about came from a book called Money Isn't the Problem, You Are. So if you're interested in looking at that book, that's the one I'm recommending right now. What's really nice about it, especially if you're not a big reader or you have a super busy life for one reason or another, is I think it's less than 100 pages. It's definitely a thin book, and it's a quick read, and it just really stretches your mind to look at things from a totally different perspective when you're thinking about money and how you are in a relationship with money and the things that you purchase with your money. So that's all I have to share with you today. If you're watching this later as a replay and you have any questions, just let me know. Comment below and I will check back in and answer all of those for everyone. Have a good day.